Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's card making video, I am making a shaker card with this darling Frosty Cafe and a coordinating gift card holder, and they are just so much fun. So let's jump right in. Today's products that I'm using are from the Trinity Stamp Shop. It's one of my favorite places to shop, and I love today's products. They're so festive. The first thing I'm using today is the A7 Snowflake Frame. So this is going to fill up a 5x7 card, and it's got some other cool dies with it. So I am using the frame and that rectangle die to cut out the center of the frame. You can use it without and it will create a solid panel. I'm going to spray that with my Cocktail Party Distress Mica spray stain and give it some nice shimmer and kind of a tone on tone look. And I really love how this turned out. But I need to set that aside to dry, and so now it's time to stamp the Frosty Cafe stamp itself. So this is like a 4x3 stamp set. It's one image, so there's no other stamps with it, but it's got all the detail you need. So you stamp once, you're done, you've got a cute scene. I'm going to color this with Copic Markers because it's like my favorite thing to color with, but it's pretty simple Copic coloring. Now I only have like 5 markers here, but I do end up pulling out some more than is shown here. So I just kind of color as I go and change things up as I go, and sometimes adapt to the weird color that I picked. You'll see what I mean. So I am coloring the awning here with the light blue B000, and I'm adding more to the area I want there to be a shadow. You can see I'm going back over that area, and it's allowing me to get a highlight even with just one color. So here's the weird color. This is RV06. This came out so much brighter than I really wanted. So I have this motto of just keep going. And so I did. But even so, the brightness of it right here, I had to tone it down. I brought in 2 other Copic markers that were had a little more red in it, and really toned them down and helped it to coordinate better with the pink cardstock that I used for my frame. So to complete the look, I went back with my white gel pen and added some highlights to my image, and that really just helps it like kind of look sparkly and shiny, and I love doing this with my colored images. So there you can see I did pull out some other markers. I needed some little accent on the orange carrot nose. And you know, sometimes you just have to change things up as you go. So there is a coordinating die for this image, and my favorite thing about this die is that it doesn't cut out just the outer edge, but it cuts out the inside as well. And that is what is going to allow me to turn this into a shaker. So from the back, I'm going to put a square of glue all the way around that opening, and then touches of glue on the images that are going to be in the center. Then I can add my window sheet, and then it's time for the foam. So the foam is going to allow there to be space for my shaker elements to sit in there, and I want to make sure that all ends of the foam tape touch each other so that there's no opening where the little bits can escape. Speaking of little bits, I am using the Bubblemint embellishments. They are clay elements that look like peppermint candies, but they have pink and red on them. I'm also going to throw in some pink seed beads. I love seed beads because they help the shaker elements move around. They sound good. They're pretty. Yeah, so I put some pink ones in there, and listen to that. Love it. All right, so I'm going to need a background for my frame and my little Frosty Cafe to sit on. So I'm using tumbled glass Distress Oxide ink and just randomly adding some ink to the paper. I want there to be white spaces that show through. But to soften this out a little bit, I'm going to lightly spritz it with some water, and that's going to kind of soften out some of that ink blending. Now the oxidized dots don't show up too much on this really light dusting of ink. Next, I will glue on my frame, and take note, one side of my frame is very thin, the other side is a little wider. You want to have a paper slightly larger than A7 when you cut out that frame. It's really hard to get it on there perfect if it's the exact size that it's supposed to cut out. All right, so now I am gluing down my Frosty Cafe. It fits perfectly in the opening of that frame, which I love. Now I have the Sweet Holiday Wishes die set. I die cut out the peppermint candy once from red and once from white. Then you can glue these together by offsetting them and have the perfect little peppermint candy. So I made 4 of those and thought it'd be really fun to pop one up in each corner of this card, and I love that little accent. I'm going to cover these with some glaze. This glaze is from the Spellbinder shop. It has a different style bottle now. It's very similar to like glossy accents. It's going to dry crystal clear. It works great as a glue as well. So I'm kind of using it for both. I am going to add some rock candy glitter over the top, and it's going to stick everywhere that I added that glaze and give everything a really delicious sugary look. I love it. So I have put it on the little cafe itself, on some of the treats, and kind of made it look like icicles hanging down under the awning, and of course on those little peppermint candies. They look so good. So there's the front. I'm going to set that aside to dry because that glaze needs a little bit of time, and I'm going to create a sentiment for the inside. I used that Sweet Wishes, and then I'm going to create the word holiday from the Simply Sentimental Holiday Die Set. There's a coordinating stamp set I show you there, but I'm just using the die cuts for today. And because this particular die cuts out the letters individually, I could go ahead and make just the word holiday. I am doing the gluing of these letters freestyle. I have no ruler in there. It's hard for me to line things up with a ruler. I tend to do better if I eyeball it. So that's what I did, and it worked out okay. But you know, sometimes it's easier to do these things with a ruler. And I'm so proud of myself. I did not lose the teeny tiny dot to the I, which is called a tittle, which is kind of a funny little name, isn't it? Okay, my card front is now dry, so I can add that to my 5x7 card base, and then you'll see how this card looks when it's all done. I've got my shaky bits in there. They're so cool, and I love the pink with the light blue. It's such a fun color combination, and check out how that glaze dried and that rock candy glitter. It really makes everything look sugary. So there's the inside one more time, and I thought it would be super fun to make a drink that came from the Frosty Cafe. So that's what project number 2 is, and it is about the cutest thing ever. I love this. I am using the Santa mug die set. It creates a mug and all these fun things you can use to dress up the mug. One of them is Santa's face, which I had to use. So I'm going to cut my mug from the same pink cardstock I used for my frame on the previous card. So I decided, why not spray it with that cocktail party spray and give it a nice mica shimmery finish to it. So that took a while to dry because I did get a little heavy-handed with it. Once it's dry, then I can just move this around and decide what area I want to cut out with my mug. And I wanted extra paper so that I could also cut out some snowflakes. This snowflake is from the Santa mug die set. So I cut out 2 of those. I'll end up gluing them back to back to make it sturdier. Next, I have the little whip topping. This one I'm going to spray after I die cut it, which is, I think, kind of the preferred way, and then you can just let that dry. I tried to get more of the spray at the top and less at the bottom so you could see kind of that spray look. Love it. All right, now we're going to cut out the face. So this one die cuts out the eyebrows, the mustache, the beard, the hat topper, and the second die cuts out the base of his face. I'm going to color that with my E02 marker. Let's not lie here. This coloring is not my best. It's very splotchy and streaky, but it ended up working out. It does not have to be perfect. And then I added a little bit of that B000 to all the other white parts, the beard, the eyebrows, the mustache, and the little fur for the hat even. And I thought that gave it a real wintry look. This die cuts out the nose and 2 little rosy cheeks. I'm cutting mine from white and adding the color with Copic markers again. I used E02 for his nose, just like his face, and the cheeks I used R20, and I even added a little R20 to the nose. Next, we're going to cut out the eyes and the mouth. That comes from this die right here. It already looks like a smiley face, so you can kind of tell what is what. All right, let's put everything together. I glued on my beard first that stuck to the face, and then the little mustache, and over the top of that we add the nose, and then I added the top of the hat so I could fit everything on there really nicely. Here come the little cheeks. They're so rosy and cute. And then I added the little winky eyes. It kind of looks like a little avatar character from a video game. Those eyes, I think they're so darling. Here are the eyebrows and then the little red mouth for the perfect finishing touch. He is adorable, and you can barely tell that my coloring was super streaky, right? So yeah, just keep going. That's my motto. All right, there's dies to create accents for the mug. This one for across the top, I die cut from gold. The one that goes across the bottom, you can add a little buckle to make it look like Santa's belt that I have die cut also from gold cardstock. And then it's time to add the whipped cream and his face. So I just put the glue at the bottom of the whipped cream, stuck it to the back of the mug. And I love the two tones of pink on this. And then I can add the face, and the edge of the face has two spots that are straight, and that should fit on your mug edge to edge. Isn't that so fun? You could throw that right on a card, but I want to create a gift card holder. So I'm kind of doing this backwards because I thought I was going to add the gift card differently, but I'm adding on a dollop of whipped cream to this, and I actually would add the whipped cream on last by making it the way I'm showing you today. So I die cut a second mug from pink and a little bit of the mug in white. I wanted, I guess I could have done this from pink also, but I wanted to make the handle more sturdy. So that's why I used the white, because it was a heavyweight cardstock, and I'm going to sandwich that between the two mugs. You can see I folded the handle back on the mug that will go on the back of this gift card holder. That's how it's going to open. I didn't want the fold on the top one. So now I can sandwich all that together, gluing them only at the handle. Then when that's dry, I can add the gift card again with some glue dots, and it will fit right in on that mug, and I can line up the whipped cream. I like it to show a little bit behind the pink one. It just gives it kind of a shadow look. I like that. But think about this. You add the gift card first, then put the whipped cream on, and it's easier to line it up. Yeah. All right, I have the Paper Crafting Magic stamp set that I'm stamping the word open on this tiny little tag. This is a die set available at Trinity Stamps, but it's currently out of stock. I've linked it for you below anyway, because you can enter your email and then Trinity Stamps will let you know when it comes back in. All right, I am tying the little tag onto the handle with some red and white baker's twine. I love red and white twine, especially for Christmas and Valentine's too. All right, I'm trimming that away, and then we're going to do some embellishment. So just like on my first card, I'm bringing in that glaze and adding it where I want my glitter to go. I really wanted to give this a frosty look, so it looks like it's very sugared, so it looks like a special drink from the Frosty Cafe. So here is that rock candy glitter again, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on. I like to use a metal spoon because it doesn't have static on it like a plastic spoon would, and this glitter is very like low static, so I don't want to add to it. So you can see that glitter on there is going to look amazing when everything's dried, and I can use my coffee filter to just pour that excess glitter right back in. Now it's time for sprinkles. I brought back the Bubblemint. I'm only gluing 3 of the little candies on right now because I just wasn't sure what all I was going to add to the top of this, but I did get a little candy crazy. I'm not going to lie. Oh my word. Trinity Stamps has so many sprinkles. I mean, their embellishment shop is beyond stocked with anything you could imagine: rhinestones, gems, sequins, confetti, clay bits. Oh my word, so much fun. So I am using several of my little clay sprinkles on this. So I added the light blue. Next, I'm bringing in my snowflake, and I thought this is probably where I was going to stop. So remember, I doubled up my snowflake so it had 2 layers, so it's a little bit more sturdy. And then I did add a little bit of glitter, and I'm going to glue this down so it's like kind of like tucked into the whipped cream. So it's halfway on and halfway off, which I think is really fun. By the way, this would totally fit into an A2 size envelope. So I decided more is better with sprinkles, right? So I brought out the red sprinkles, and I'm adding the smallest circle element from this mix. And then I was not done. Nope, I added some more after the red. brought in the bright pink. I thought I just needed one more touch of bright pink on here. So I'm going to add those as well. And that's not even all, because I did end up adding more of the peppermint candies, you can see there. And I even added one to the center of the snowflake, which to me was like the finishing touch. Loved it. I wanted the peppermint candies to stand out a little bit more from the sprinkles because they're normally more shiny. So I added some glaze to that without putting glitter on these ones. And I love that look. And here you can see what it looks like when everything is dry. It's so sugary and sparkly and shiny and yummy, if I don't say so myself. And I think this is the perfect little gift card holder that looks like a drink that came from the Frosty Cafe. I love the two together. All things Santa and snowman make me so happy, and I'm also just loving pink for Christmas this year. So I hope you have enjoyed today's video and a look at some of the cool things from the Trinity Stamps shop. I am on their design team, so I do share stuff with from them quite a bit, and I stay on the design team because I really truly love that shop, the company, and their products. So thanks so much for watching today. If you're interested in anything I've used, I'll have it linked for you below. If you have questions, let me know in the comments below, or just say hi and chat with me because I love that. I'll be back again very soon with a new video, so feel free to subscribe and let me know if you like this video with a thumbs up. See you soon. Happy stamping. Bye.